The Joy Revolution, unleashing your inner happiness superhero. Welcome, fellow joy seekers and happiness enthusiasts. I'm thrilled to have you join me on this exhilarating journey into the art of joviality. Today, we're diving deep into the wisdom of an extraordinary individual who's been spreading smiles and laughter across the globe like it's confetti at a party. I'm talking about none other than the incomparable Glory Kagnela Tiro, a true happiness guru whose insights have the power to turn even the grumpiest of grumps into beaming beacons of joy. Now, you might be wondering, who is this Glory person and why should I care? Well, let me tell you, Glory isn't just your average ray of sunshine. She's more like a supernova of positivity, exploding across the universe and showering us all with her infectious optimism. Her work in promoting joy and mindfulness has touched countless lives, transforming communities and inspiring people to find happiness in the most unexpected places. She's like the Marie Kondo of emotions, helping people declutter their minds and spark joy in their hearts. So, buckle up, my friends, because we're about to embark on a roller coaster ride of revelations that will have you grinning from ear to ear and maybe even snorting with laughter. Don't worry, we won't judge. Snorting is just your body's way of saying, hot damn, that's funny. Let's start with Glory's central message, which is deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful. I am jovial. Now, you might be thinking, well, good for you, Glory, want a cookie? But hold on to your hats because there's more to this statement than meets the eye. It's not just a declaration, it's a way of life, a conscious choice to find joy in every nook and cranny of our existence. But what does it really mean to be jovial? Is it about walking around with a permanent grin plastered on your face, even when you step on a Lego? Ouch! Is it about pretending everything's peachy, keen, when life serves you a big old bowl of lemons? Not quite, my friends. It's about something much deeper and more transformative. Let's dive into the first key takeaway from my chat with Glory, the art of appreciating life's small wonders. Now, I know what you're thinking. Small wonders? I'm too busy chasing big dreams and crushing goals to notice the little things. But hear me out, because this might just be the game changer you've been looking for. Picture this. You're rushing to work, coffee in hand, mind already racing with your to-do list. You're so focused on the day ahead that you barely notice the world around you. But what if, just for a moment, you pause to really savor that first sip of coffee? What if you took a second to appreciate the way the morning light filters through the trees, creating a dance of shadows on the sidewalk? What if you smiled at the stranger who held the door open for you? These might seem like insignificant moments, but they're the building blocks of a joyful life. It's like collecting tiny gems throughout your day, each one adding a sparkle to your existence. And the best part, it's absolutely free. No credit card required, no subscription fees, just good old-fashioned mindfulness. Let me share a story that Glory told me about a participant in a study on mindfulness and gratitude practices. We'll call her Sarah, the reluctant smiler. Sarah was your typical stressed out, overwhelmed professional. Her mornings usually involved hitting the snooze button 5 times, then dragging herself out of bed with all the enthusiasm of a sloth on sedatives. But then Sarah was challenged to start each day by appreciating 3 small things. At first, she thought it was ridiculous. Appreciate my alarm clock? Yeah, right. But she gave it a shot. Day 1, she noticed the softness of her pillow, the gentle purr of her cat, and the aroma of her coffee brewing. It felt a bit forced at first, like trying to do the Macarena at a funeral. But as the days went by, something magical started to happen. Sarah found herself waking up before her alarm, eager to start her gratitude practice. She began to notice beauty in places she'd previously overlooked. The intricate pattern of frost on her windshield, the melodious chirping of birds outside her window, the satisfying pop of her toaster when her bread was ready. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for Sarah, but my life is different. I have real problems to deal with. And you're absolutely right. We all face challenges, some more daunting than others. But here's the kicker. Appreciating the small things doesn't mean ignoring the big things. It's not about living in denial or pretending everything's perfect. It's about creating a reservoir of positive emotions that can help you weather life's storms. Think of it like building an emotional emergency fund. Just as you might save money for a rainy day, these small moments of joy and gratitude are like deposits in your happiness bank account. When life throws you a curveball, and let's face it, life's got quite an arm, you can draw on this reserve of positivity to help you cope. but don't just take my word for it. The study that Sarah participated in showed some pretty mind-blowing results. Participants who practiced this daily gratitude ritual reported not just increased happiness, but also improved relationships, better productivity at work, and even enhanced physical health. It's like they discovered a secret superpower hidden in plain sight. Now, let's move on to our second key insight from Glory: the power of optimism in maintaining a positive outlook. And before you roll your eyes and mutter toxic positivity under your breath, let me assure you, we're not talking about slapping a smiley face sticker on every problem and calling it a day. To illustrate this point, Glory shared a fascinating story about a group of entrepreneurs who maintained a positive outlook despite facing more obstacles than a contestant on Wipeout. These business owners weren't just dealing with your average the coffee machine is broken kind of problems. We're talking financial crises, market crashes, and the kind of setbacks that would make most people want to curl up in a ball and binge watch cat videos for eternity. Let me tell you about Mark, the optimistic opportunist. Mark had built a thriving business from the ground up, only to have his main supplier suddenly go belly up faster than a fish in a drought. Now, most people in this situation might have panicked, maybe indulged in a little stress eating. Hey, we've all been there, and started updating their resume. But not Mark. Oh no. Mark looked at this disaster and thought, interesting. I wonder what opportunities this might create. It's like he was wearing special entrepreneur goggles that turn problems into possibilities. Instead of mourning the loss of his supplier, Mark saw it as a chance to diversify his supply chain. He reached out to new potential partners, explored different materials, and even stumbled upon some innovative processes that ended up making his product even better. The result? Not only did Mark's business survive, but it thrived. He ended up with a more resilient supply chain, a superior product, and get this, increased profitability. It's like he took life's lemons and made a gourmet lemon souffle with a side of lemon sorbet. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's great for Mark, but I'm not an entrepreneur. How does this apply to me? Well, my friend, optimism isn't just for business moguls and Silicon Valley wunderkinds. It's a tool we can all use in our daily lives, like a Swiss Army knife for the soul. When you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming and honking like a goose with anger management issues, you could see it as an opportunity to listen to that podcast you've been meaning to check out. When your favorite shirt shrinks in the wash, instead of mourning its loss, you could see it as a chance to update your wardrobe or embrace the crop top trend. Hey, no judgment here. But here's the real kicker. Optimism isn't just about making yourself feel better. It's about creating a ripple effect of positivity that can change the world around you. Glory shared a personal anecdote that really drives this point home. Picture this. Glory standing in line at the grocery store, surrounded by a sea of grumpy faces. The lines moving slower than a snail on tranquilizers. And you can practically feel the impatience radiating off people like heat from asphalt on a summer day. Now, most of us in this situation might pull out our phones and start scrolling mindlessly through social media, maybe fire off a passive-aggressive tweet about the inefficiency of modern society, but not Glory. Instead, she struck up a conversation with the elderly gentleman in front of her. What started as a simple, lovely weather we're having, isn't it? Turned into a fascinating discussion about the gentleman's experiences as a World War II veteran. Before they knew it, the line had moved, and they'd reached the checkout. But more importantly, Glory had made a new friend and gained a wealth of historical insights she never expected to find in the produce aisle. This chance encounter led to a beautiful friendship, with Glory and the gentleman meeting regularly for coffee and chats. It opened her eyes to the wealth of stories and experiences that surround us every day, just waiting to be discovered if we're open to them. Now imagine if we all approach life with this kind of optimism and openness. Suddenly, every cue becomes an opportunity for connection, every setback a chance for growth, every rainy day a reason to appreciate the coziness of being indoors. But I get it, maintaining this kind of outlook isn't always easy, especially when life decides to test your patience like a toddler with a new drum set. This brings us to our third and final key insight from Glory: the importance of living in the moment. Glory shared a study about individuals who practice living in the moment and avoiding overthinking.
Now, if overthinking were an Olympic sport, some of us would be gold medalists. We'd be on cereal boxes, signing autographs, and giving inspirational speeches about how we achieved our dreams of turning a simple, "Hey, how are you?" text into a 3-hour anxiety spiral. Let me tell you about Tom, the chronic overthinker. Tom's mind was like a hamster on a wheel, constantly running, but never really getting anywhere. He'd lie awake at night, replaying conversations from the day, worrying about future presentations, and stressing about his long term career prospects. His brain was like a browser with 100 tabs open, all of them playing loud videos at the same time. Through the study, Tom learned techniques to bring his attention back to the present. He started practicing mindfulness meditation, which is basically like giving your brain a spa day. He learned to focus on his breath, feeling the air moving in and out of his lungs, noticing the rise and fall of his chest. But it wasn't just about formal meditation practices. Tom also started incorporating mindfulness into his daily activities. He had really tasted his food during meals, savoring each bite instead of inhaling his lunch while scrolling through emails. He'd feel the warmth of the sun on his skin during his walk to work instead of mentally rehearsing his presentation for the 47th time. The results were nothing short of miraculous. Tom reported reduced stress and increased happiness by living in the moment. He found that he was able to fully engage in conversations with friends and family rather than being distracted by the constant chatter in his head. His work performance improved as he was able to focus more fully on tasks at hand. Most importantly, he rediscovered a sense of joy in his daily life. It's like Tom had been watching his life in low resolution, and suddenly everything was in 4K Ultra HD. Colors seemed brighter, flavors more intense, moments more meaningful. He wasn't just existing anymore, he was truly living. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that's all well and good, but I don't have time to stop and smell the roses. I've got deadlines to meet, kids to feed, and a mountain of laundry that's threatening to achieve sentience. But here's the thing: living in the moment isn't about ignoring your responsibilities or pretending everything's perfect. It's about fully engaging with whatever you're doing, whether that's crunching numbers for a report, having a heart to heart with your teenager, or yes, even tackling Mount Laundry. It's about savoring the taste of your morning coffee instead of gulping it down while simultaneously checking emails and making lunch. It's about really listening when someone speaks to you instead of half listening while mentally composing your grocery list. It's about feeling the satisfaction of completing a task, no matter how small, instead of immediately moving on to the next item on your to do list. So, what does all this mean for you? How can you incorporate these insights into your daily life to cultivate a more jovial outlook? Well, my friends, I'm glad you asked because I've got a challenge for you. Don't worry, it doesn't involve ice buckets or eating spoonfuls of cinnamon. For the next week, I want you to commit to 3 things. First, appreciate at least 3 small things each day. It could be as simple as the perfect foam on your latte, the way your pet greets you when you come home, or the satisfying click when you close your laptop at the end of the workday. Write them down, share them with a friend, or just take a moment to silently acknowledge them. Second, reframe one challenge as an opportunity. When something goes wrong, and let's face it, something always goes wrong, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what's the opportunity here? Maybe that flat tire is a chance to finally learn how to change one. Maybe that cancel plans is an opportunity for some much needed alone time. Third, spend at least 5 minutes fully engaged in the present moment. It could be during your morning shower, your commute, or while eating your lunch. Whatever you choose, give it your full attention. Notice the sensations, the sounds, the smells, be fully present in that moment. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great, but will it really make a difference? Well, my skeptical friend, there's only one way to find out. Give it a try. What have you got to lose except maybe a little stress and a lot of mental clutter? Remember, joviality isn't about ignoring life's challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to find joy in the midst of life's ups and downs. It's about cultivating a resilient spirit that can find something to smile about even on the toughest days. It's about being a happiness superhero in a world that often feels determined to bring us down. So, as you go about your day, ask yourself, how can I bring more joviality into this moment? You might be surprised at how this simple question can transform your experience of life. It's like putting on a pair of joy colored glasses that reveal the beauty and wonder hidden in plain sight. And who knows, maybe your newfound joviality will be contagious. Maybe your smile will inspire someone else to smile. Maybe your optimism will help someone else see the silver lining in their cloud. Maybe your mindfulness will encourage others to slow down and appreciate the present moment. In a world that often feels divided and chaotic, your joy could be the spark that ignites the happiness revolution. And wouldn't that be something? A world where people appreciate the small things, face challenges with optimism, and live fully in the present moment. A world where joy is the default setting, not the exception. So, my fellow joy revolutionaries, are you ready to unleash your inner happiness superhero? Are you ready to don your cape of optimism, strap on your utility belt of mindfulness, and go forth to spread joviality wherever you go? Remember, in the immortal words of Glory Kagnela Tiro, I am jovial isn't just a statement, it's a choice, a practice, and a way of life. It's a superpower that we all possess, just waiting to be activated. So go forth, my friends, appreciate the small things. Find opportunity in challenges. Live in the present moment. Be the joy you wish to see in the world. And who knows, maybe the next time we meet, you'll be the one up here sharing your stories of how you transformed your life and the lives of those around you through the simple, radical act of choosing joy. Thank you. And remember, in a world where you can be anything, be jovial.